Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Enthusiast series. We're here in sort of sunny Glasgow. We're outside the Pot Still. It's one of Glasgow's best and most famous whiskey bars. We're gonna go inside in a minute, give you a little bit of a tour, and tell you a bit why you should be perhaps visiting a whiskey bar. Great opportunities to try drams that perhaps you wouldn't do elsewhere, or if there's that high-end bottle you're looking for, a place like this, they have 800 different drams inside. So there's definitely going to be something to find that you've not had before, and perhaps you don't even be able to get at auction for having a massive premium. And the prices here are really reasonable too. Malt of the month, I mean, Glenfiddich 12, perhaps not for everyone, £3 for a 35ml. So again, if you're just getting into whiskey, going to a whiskey bar, the perfect place to go to try before you buy as well. We've got Ben from the Whisky Diary inside as well. We're going to go inside, have a couple of drams, tell you what we're having, perhaps even see behind the bar. So, let's go, see what they've got, and have a dram or two. We're at the bar. The selection is almost overwhelming. Trying to work out what to have is probably going to be a difficult task. There's a couple of things that have maybe caught my eye. So there's the new Ardnamurchan sherry cask release. Not had a chance to try that yet. There's a bunch of interesting looking indie bottlers in this kind of cupboardy area at the minute. And I can see a bunch of Glendronachs over there as well. So yeah, decision-making time. Dave came over with a couple of suggestions, and going for this 9-year-old PX matured Blair Athol. It's pretty hefty, dark colour on it. Expecting good things. Once you've got a couple of perhaps different whiskies or styles of whiskey that you like, again, asking for recommendations and maybe going for something a little bit different as well. So, we've also gone for this 12-year-old Glendronach handfill. Again, it's been matured in PX, this time of puncheon. You know, Glendronach, obviously one of, if not my favorite distilleries. So I think comparing two different whiskies at a pretty similar ABV, this one's 58% compared to 55%. Obviously, again, great opportunity doing that, comparing, contrasting. And again, whiskey bars are one of the only places where you can really come and find two whiskies like that you can sit, nose them, taste them, share them with a friend as well. So yeah, this should be really, really interesting to do that. Two pretty dark sherry bombs here. Here they are. I mean, almost indistinguishable in terms of color between them. Let's go back to the seats and have a sniff. Cheers. Cheers. Right, I'm here, back at the table with Ben from the Whisky Diary. How you doing, Ben?
I'm very good, man. How are you?
Good, yeah, awesome. Well, we're having some whiskey. What more could you want, right?
What more could you ask for?
So, we've got our 3 drams here. We've got the independent Blair Athol from Red Cask, 9-year-olds in PX. We've got the Glendronach handfill, 12-year-old in PX. And then we've got the Ardnamurchan sherry cask, which is Oloroso and peated. I think that one's a non-age statement, right?
Do you know what? I actually have no idea. I didn't even look at the bottle that you bought. I was like, yeah, I'll take that. It's a dram on the table, it's got my name on it. So I'll
sherry
take it.
bombs? Yeah, let's have a little bit of a compare and a contrast. What are you getting on yours, on the nose?
Obviously peat, but it's got that Ardnamurchan meatiness, that indistinguishable, undeniable meatiness you get very consistently through all the Ardnamurchans I've had. This has got a considerable amount of juiciness, a huge amount of fruit, which really comes through after.
Yeah.
Like, the closest thing you can think of, what's it called? You get the old, the juice with like a really nice cut of meat.
The jus.
The jus. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's like, it's still savory, it's still meaty and delicious, but there is a distinct fruity sweetness and like a hint of umami that comes through with it as well.
Do you know what? This one's quite tannic. Jus is a note that I was going to actually say for this one as well, yeah. But it's definitely probably a little bit less meaty. It's like You know, you get that kind of really sweet red currant jelly you get with lamb.
Is that the Blair Athol?
It's the Blair Athol.
Yeah. So it's like what we were saying earlier. I don't like a lot of Blair Athols. Well, sorry, I don't like a lot of the Blair Athol you can find.
Yeah.
The independent bottlings and like the hand fill stuff, if you go to the distillery, are incredible. I got a red wine thing, which is the same. It's like jelly, like sugary, sweet gumminess. And huge amounts of texture as well, I find, from Blair Athol.
Well, texture, you need to dig in a little bit for that. Yes, this one is thick, it's dense, it is mouth-coating.
Yeah, man. It's good stuff.
There's a really interesting kind of back palate, not just note, but kind of texture, the way it changes in the mouth as well as it kind of gets into the finish and starts to become a bit more drying and tannic as the wood comes through.
I will be honest, when you two go, because I know you've got to catch the flight soon, I'll be going down and getting one of those because it's literally been a week since I had one and I know how good. And to be fair, like that red cask, they've got a few bottlings here.
Yeah.
All of them are stunning. I think they had like a 31-year-old Girvan, or so. They had like a grain here.
Nice.
And it was super affordable.
And it's red cask because it's dark, it's all sherry bombs pretty much, right? Is that why?
I literally have no idea. This is one of the reasons why I come here.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for like any whiskey bar, but for me, like the pot still is my local, right?
Yeah.
And I'll walk in and half the time I don't even tell the bar staff what I want. They literally, we just got these in, and before I've said hello, I've got 5 bottles in front of me, and they're pouring stuff. And they go, "Oh, you heard of these?" So I have no idea. And so this red cask were one of them. Pulled down like 4 bottles. They'd obviously had a rep in, 4 bottles, stuck them on the bar, all affordable, all stunning. Would never have thought twice about sourcing them.
Yeah.
It was because I came in here, they were presented to me, the price was right, so I don't buy expensive bottles, I buy expensive drams because they're a fraction of the cost of the bottle.
I think again, like when I started out and I was kind of getting into whiskey and didn't really know too many people, sometimes that master of malt stuff like drinks by the dram or perfect measure from Whiskey Exchange is another good way of being able to try stuff without, you know, bursting the budget or, you know, taking a risk on a full bottle. But obviously you don't get the social aspect of coming to a bar. And you know what I've found since coming to more of these bars, like not only have you got the knowledge of all the staff, everyone in whiskey is so friendly, right?
Yeah, I think it's somewhat of a self-moderating community in that you very rarely get dickheads.
Yeah.
Especially like in here, you get a dickhead just doesn't last very long. They try and get rises out of people. They try and give it all that. They get rid. But if you're involved and passionate, I mean, when we were buying these down there, the mate who stood behind us. Oh, so what you're drinking there? The head comes around the corner and he's looking over the bottles. If we hadn't have gone, let's go and shoot some stuff before you got to go. We would happily have stood there at the bar for what, 20 minutes, an hour? And then, quite often, I've come here on my own. I will be here until probably the early hours of the morning on my own, and I would imagine it's the majority, even the bar staff, to be honest. I mean, there's Dave.
Yeah.
Absolute hero.
And again, I think that's the thing. Trying like 6, 7, 8 years ago, I said when I was starting to get into like really expanding my horizons, like I'd probably been like, oh, I don't really want to go to Milroy's or Melody by myself. Actually, just like, I kind of wish on hindsight.
It's something you have to practice. Going out on your own it's like a muscle you have to exercise. And honest to God, finding a place where there is a commonality. The pot still, again, like this is just obviously it's my local, so I'm always going to be biased.
Yeah, man, but it's a local, but like it's not like a fucking Western where you open the doors, a tumbleweed comes through, and the piano stops playing. Like everyone's friendly here.
Everyone's incredible here. Like, but again, it's a self-moderating community.
You need to have a sip of this. It's got that real fruitiness and then a tannic vibe coming through. This has got some fruitiness, but then you get hit of leather and cigar box as well. This tastes like an older Glendronach in a very, very good way. But look, there's a great crowd in here. Everyone's lovely.
Always get down to whiskey bars. It's like, don't buy expensive bottles, buy expensive drams. Sorry, I should say that's my take on it. Don't buy expensive bottles, buy expensive drams, because you're going to pay a bit of a markup for it, but if you buy an expensive bottle, you sit on it, you don't want to drink it when there's so much other like good liquid from indie bottlers and stuff like that.
There's nothing worse than buying an expensive bottle, which I've done a couple of times, having a first dram or two and being like, oh,
shit.
It's not quite for me.
Yeah,
and what do you do with it as well? You got to try and like, do you split it up? Do you just like take the hit on it? Do you gift it to someone else? Like, it's tough, man.
And where are you going to meet wonderful people to share expensive shit whiskey with?
And I think that's the thing, isn't it? Sharing whiskey, trying these together, you know, showing some notes on it as well and expanding your horizons. It's great.
Wholeheartedly agree, brother.
What more could you want?
What more could you ask for?
Fantastic to see you as
Slàinte mhath,
well.
brother.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, thank you very much.